Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're going to be doing another comic book haul. So we're just going to get right into it. So first I've got some of my stuff from my other shop, not my main shop I go to. But we're starting off with Demon Days Blood Feud #1. And this is technically, I think, the 5th part of Peach's story she was doing. And this is the last part of this particular story. She did announce she's going to be doing a different story coming up. I think it's in summer, maybe. But yeah, so the next arc's going to be her take on like the Marvel Civil War done in her style, with the more Japanese influence, stuff like what she's doing here. So I've been enjoying this. It's been fun just kind of seeing a different visual style and take on just kind of the Marvel universe in general. It's been fun to see what she comes up with and stuff. Obviously, yeah, if you haven't checked any of these out yet, by all means do it. They will be collecting all these in one trade together soon. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's probably going to be coming out around the time the next series arc launches. So next we got Harley Quinn #13, and the reason why I got this one was solely for the Batman cover here. Riley Rossmo is good at what he does, but unfortunately it's just not my taste. It's very cartoony, character-esque, but it's just a bit too wonky for my tastes, I guess. But that's not to say that it's bad. It's just not what I personally am into. So I had some inadvertently in my box in the past, and I was like, hey, I don't want this series anymore. And then I realized, oh, they've got one of, the Batman movie covers on it. So then naturally I had to get it for the main cover there. So yeah, let me know below. Have you guys found any of these Batman movie variants that are out? I know they've kind of been scattershot with them. I don't think I've seen them a ton aside from, when I've had them pulled and stuff. So, and then we have this next one here. This was also kind of by default. This is Savage Spider-Man #2. Yeah, Spider-Man has been turned into this big spider creature. This isn't part of any sort of continuity. Ooh, this paper is really weird though. The cover is just as thin as this interior page. So that's kind of gross. But yeah, this is takes place. I can't speak today. I'm sorry. This takes place after the non-stop Spider-Man miniseries, and so yeah, he's still taking on Zemo here, but now he's kind of in this full-fledged spider mode here. So, and I wanted to jump off after the, non-stop arc. I was like, okay, he turns into a big spider. That's not really my thing, but just, it's in here by default. I think it's just going to be another, 6-part mini-series or something like that. And he's still taking on Zemo, so that bit still interests me. Yeah, that cover's ridiculously thin on there. I can't believe that. And we have Amazing Spider-Man #93. This is the last part of the Beyond storyline, I believe. We got Spidey versus Spidey. So I think this might even be maybe Gleason's last. Man, look at that. This might be Gleason's last Spidey book for a little while. I know Ramita Jr. Is taking over soon. I forget who's doing the writing on it. But yeah, I know that Gleason has been instrumental in actually writing part of this current Spider-Man arc. So I think he's just got affinity for Peter as well as for, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. So he's been enjoying, playing in that sandbox for a bit. Next we have Immortal X-Men #1. I believe this is just a one-shot. And it's got this nice homage to The Last Supper here. So that's kind of cool. And yeah, this is just kind of continuing in the vein of everything. That's, the hierarchy of the mutants, the inner circle, making decisions, and there's a whole lot of just like backroom politics going on. Obviously, this is early here, way before modern day there. So, yeah, we see Mr. Sinister here. Just kind of has his hands in things, doing his own little secret agenda. Magneto's doing what he does. It's all very kind of business as usual, but yeah, big things are gonna come out of it. Which, you know how that goes. There's always status quo shakeups all the time and all this sort of stuff. So, like I said, X-Men's kind of been really crazy. Like, I'm trying to follow it as best as I can, but if you don't get all the books, I think you miss kind of the nuance of what's being done in it. And then this one surprised me. I don't even know what this one's about here. So this is XMen Unlimited, Latitude. I like the cover, though. This is a pretty cool cover. So yeah, Hickman is writing it, so by default it ends up in my box for that reason. As I say, I pull anything X-Men Hickman for me, because that's kind of the interest point for me. That's when I started buying it ongoing, was for Hickman's vision, which to my understanding he's going to be off the book soon. So it looks like Wolverine's, I don't know, it almost looks like he's in space here, doesn't it? He's attacking some AIM people. Once again, kind of a more, I associate AIM with like a Captain America threat with all the MODOK stuff that's been going on and everything too. So it looks like we're seeing a bit more of that crossover from the X-Men ongoing, because I know they've been taking on the MODOK for the last few. Looks like we're seeing a lot more in the way of visuals than dialogue here, so that's kind of interesting. This is a big book too. I think it's probably 64 pages. Of course, you pay for it, it's $6, so can you do there? Next we have I was getting concerned about this one. I wasn't sure if I had missed one or not. So this is the One Dark Night #2 by Jock. So there's a black label, so it's the bigger prestige format. I think this is the one they had with the one version that had like the shiny silver or rainbow cover on it, I think. Not sure. So yeah, the premise is more or less Batman is trying to get this overpowered villain into containment while he caused a power surge that made all of Gotham City black out. So it's very much bare bones. It's him doing a lot of like stealthy type of stuff. And there's just kind of, the survival element to it. I like how they've got the blue tones in there. Definitely still feels like a more modern story, even though it's got the classic color scheme on him. But yeah, it's just nice to see Jock's work because, he always does phenomenal covers, but it's very rare that he does full interior cover work. So it's nice to see it. He's one of the few artists left that I haven't met yet. So hopefully one day soon he'll return to Emerald City and stuff. The year he was here, well, I think it was the same year Eastman and Stanley and stuff were around, so I missed the brief window when he was around. So next we move on to our little black box. Okay, first we have Action Comics number 1041. It's this beautiful Reign of the Supermen cover. Y'all already know. Absolutely love that story arc. So naturally, love this cover. So yeah, we're still continuing on here at War World. Superman is still trying to do his best to get out of here, but not just by himself, but to free all these people in captivity here. So, and he's trying to help reshape them a little bit too, where there's a bit of glorification of violence and killing and stuff even amongst the slaves, and so he's trying to reshape that and help them understand that that's not a glorious and powerful way to be. It's stronger to exercise self-control, There was one of the previous issues, one of them was one of these guys was like, if you want to be, in the same ranks as me, he was talking to one of me, said, kill your brother or sister. I can't recall which sibling, but more or less in that moment, they kind of, Superman gave him, like a quick kind of encouraging look, and that person wasn't able to do that, even though they could have like leveled up their ranks and become something technically more according to Warworld's ranking, but they denied that. So yeah, this particular thing, so the other people who he gathered in the previous little 4-part mini-series he did with like Midnighter and all those type of people, they're on this planet too, and right now they're trying to get to the core of this planet. Look at this nice doomsday there. There's something, I think, dampening the solar flares on the planet, which, is how Superman gets his powers. So they're kind of doing something to get that fixed where Superman can get his powers back. And I believe some of the other people too would have the same effect as well. I think they're some sort of Kryptonian offshoot. Not 100% obviously, but I know there was a few of them who had like Superman's emblem on them and stuff like that. But they are more or less branded that way. I think they weren't blood, but Alright, next we have the White Knight. This is the Batman Beyond White Knight. So this has been a project that people have been looking forward to here for sure. Pushing forward with the Murphyverse. So, yeah, from what I've seen, same solid art that he's been known for. He's writing it too, from what I understand, which I've heard the writing is not as tight as it could be. But I haven't personally read it yet, so. But yeah, it's hard for me to, be too too out of shape for when you've got cool splash pages like this. And we have Detective Comics number 1058. A very beat up Batman cowl. This is continuing the Arkham Tower storyline. This might be the last part. We see Batman is back in the picture. He has been away. And so this was really kind of like a Gotham family spotlight book for this duration. And kind of the big piece was Psycho Pirate was involved in quelling all of the patients. And more or less, Nightwing came in and blindsided him and he lost control, and they were doing like a big old press conference for it or something like that, and the patients started attacking the guests and all this sort of stuff. I'm interested with the masks here. I feel like there's some sort of significance to it that I'm not quite getting. Reminds me a lot of like how Bane looked in the animated series, So yeah, there's still quite a spotlight on the Bat family in here. So they haven't completely pushed them aside. Yeah, see, there's the Psycho Pirate mask there. And next we've got this really random book. So this is the FaZe Clan Batman special. So FaZe Clan is more or less, they're like a crew of gamers that are really good at Fortnite, to my understanding, I believe. I don't know a lot about them, honestly, but that's what I can recall. And my kid's into, Fortnite and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just like, oh, I'll pick this up, obviously, for him. So not really my cup of tea, but, just kind of something random, something unique. Heard a lot of people giving it grief. They, use the term gamers quite a bit in here and stuff. And it's whatever. It's just a fun little random promo vanity book. I'm sure these guys, approached DC and maybe made them, paid them to make the book. I'm not sure how that all went down. But, I'm sure DC's like, oh yeah, we can get some crossover from, the younger kids and all this sort of stuff, which it worked well with the actual Fortnite books, but I don't see that really happening with this, since this is even, more, it's focused on FaZe Clan specifically, but regardless of all of that, it's still something kind of unique. This was a nice little surprise too. I do get the Sonic book for my kid, and there's a Sonic 2 this is like a prequel to Sonic 2, and it's got a pretty nice little cover on it too. So yeah, I really enjoyed the first Sonic movie. I look forward to watching the second one. And so yeah, it'll be fun to read this just kind of as nice little bonus footage for the movie. I don't think there's anything. I think it just, same art. Well, this is different art here in the middle, but I think it kind of has to be because you have your more, human-like characters. And then there's a fun little back cover there. Next we have Swamp Thing number 11. This is the variant. So yeah, the book is gorgeous as ever. Art is absolutely phenomenal in this series. I can't sing it high enough praises. I I don't understand all the little nuances of the series, but the art is so enjoyable that I can't ignore the title. That's how good it is. So yeah, we've got Mike Perkins is doing it. There was a period he was even in the Epting Captain America run, the Brubaker Epting period. He does really good at realism, and we see kind of an additional, he looks like he's got a bit of like painting going on in here too. Normally his stuff is more, in the positive and negative space with the inking and, that sort of thing, from what I've seen anyway. So it's nice to kind of see an extra layer added there as well. So yeah, I think he's having a lot of fun working on the book too, which is great because, I'm having fun reading it. Next we have Robin, number 12. So yeah, there's a big event coming up. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Something about shadow something or other. And so I think reading these is probably kind of the best homework you can do for that series. But I'm not actually going to follow the full shadow event when it happens. I think it's like a 9-part series. I'm picking up 4 out of the 9. I think we're already on my pull list just from the ongoing. I think an issue or two, Batman's in there, Robin's in there, and there might be a few others as well. So I'm sure it'll be a fine series, but I'm just really looking at the money side of it, And as I've kind of said previously, I'm getting a bit burnt out, unfortunately. Even with characters and titles I really like, it's hard for me, and I'm kind of out of room and stuff, so trying to be a touch bit smarter with all that and using funds for more unique things. And I did get a few things that were requested in my one contest comments video. So I've got some of those. I'm not going to show them off in today's one, though, because then if I show them off, I can't do a future video on them. But yeah, I got 2 books. One of them being an art book, and then one is just a non-superhero graphic novel that was recommended to me actually quite a while ago. So, but it'll be fun to delve into those and, kind of scratch a different itch. Next we have the Turtles Annual, 2002 annual here, with a beautiful Eastman cover here. Just great. And yeah, I think this is just kind of setting up the direction for the Turtles, because it's been more like side note type stuff. This more or less like downtime, which is fine. Like, the Turtles are always the Turtles. It doesn't matter if they're fighting or they're relaxing. They're just a likable group, so it's not to say I haven't enjoyed it, but I'm certainly ready for more fast-paced action and, plot-driven stories. Yeah, you'll notice the art is definitely a lot more stylized in this annual. I think this is Andy Kuhn's art, maybe. I could be wrong. It looks like I am wrong. Yeah, so this is Junie Ba. I certainly get a very Kuhn vibe from it, though, just kind of with, the more squarish sort of shapes and everything. I was about to say, Kuhn was originally supposed to be the one working on the Last Ronin, and then they changed it. But yeah, this looks unique, though. I like it. And even like the font choices here is kind of unusual. Let me see if there's an additional story in here. No, it looks like it goes all the way through. Yeah, so that's the whole. And obviously it's a bigger one, probably once again another 64-page book. And we have Turtles number 127 with the first appearance of Venus. And so Sophie Campbell did the cover, and then Eastman went over it with color and inking and all that good stuff. So yeah, for sure we're seeing action in the regular ongoing. We're seeing stuff with the Utrom and the Krang here. A child was born naturally and they're trying to kill that child so that the Krang can continue to outnumber the Utrom, the Triceratons. So I think it's interesting that they've got Raph doing the black bandana type of thing. It's like law enforcement for the mutant city here. Because, I mean, you certainly get Last Ronin vibes from it. Let me see if I can jump ahead to where we'll see. Okay. Interesting take on her. I almost don't want to show. I'll show part of it. How about that? So we'll go right here. So yeah, she's certainly in here, but that's kind of the rest of the image is a huge reveal. So I'll just show you the face there so you could say you saw Venus. But that book, I think, will climb in value. So even though she's kind of a divisive turtle, got Gunslinger number 6 here. Yeah, the whole thing with Venus being in the live action was kind of what caused a bit of a rift between Eastman and Laird, because initially they're like, yeah, we want to do a 5th turtle, but we want to make it be Kirby, you know, as a homage to Jack Kirby, who was a huge inspiration to them. And then the network's like, yeah, no, we want a girl turtle, you know, so we can appeal to all the audiences. And to my understanding, if I remember, Laird was a bit more not welcoming about that. And that just kind of led to a rift. But I think they've patched up since then, but I know that that was a bit of tension at that time. So yeah, the recent development here with Gunslinger is he is kind of secretly aligned here with the Clown, and the Clown is now much more powerful than he was prior. He kind of went through and consumed other versions of himself and became more powerful along the way. So now we're seeing a more cunning, more powerful Clown than we've seen in the past. Next we have Teen Titans Academy number 13. And I think this should be probably reaching a conclusion soon. They did the reveal of Red X previously, and I'm trying to actually recall it wasn't really a main character, so the reveal wasn't too exciting. Which, yeah, that certainly can happen when you're, you know, building a lot of mystery around a character, and there's like, oh yeah, it's this guy, you know. So yeah, there was kind of a big attack, a huge fallout. So we've got, you know, Beast Boy here is not faring too well. I know the Titans have like a crossover book coming out here, I think, soon. So I think this is kind of laying the groundwork for that as well. And I more or less picked this up to kind of see the mystery element of the Red X. And now that that's passed, it's just kind of like, oh, it's still going. Okay, so I'm just trying to see it through. If it goes on for, if the series continues to go for much longer, though, I probably will not be picking it up. But yeah, it's been interesting. And then finally we have Spawn number 328. This nice medieval Spawn Barends cover here. So I'm trying to remember exactly what's been going on with the ongoing Spawn titles. There's just, you know, we're juggling, what, 3 or 4 different Spawn series now. And yeah, I'm just trying to recall exactly what's going on in the main one. I think right now the Gunslinger one's the most interesting. Well, that's not true. The King Spawn one is the most interesting. to me right now. So, but Gunslinger one's got an interesting element going on too. But I'm trying to remember honestly what is going on in the regular series. So hopefully after I read this, I will have retained better what it is exactly. I know at this point Spawn still doesn't know who the medieval Spawn is, so that might be an element they address possibly. But yeah, I'm just not really too sure, unfortunately. Alright, well that's going to do it for now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do our next giveaway at 2,500 subscribers. I'm going to a few cons hopefully this summer, so if I do, definitely going to have a signed Kevin Eastman item for you all. And we'll see what happens if we can get bigger as well. If we can sweeten the pot and get it to 3,000, we might do even more things. But I'm thinking right now probably a signed Eastman item from the con, probably. But yeah, nothing else from me. You all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.